Good morning, everyone. Good evening, and good afternoon to viewers from all walks of life. This is Desmos, and you are welcome to the channel of truth, enlightenment, freedom, and the channel of breaking empaths free. If you are new on this channel, I talk about narcissism and narcissistic abuse. I talk about spirituality, and I talk about personal and self-development. And if any of that resonates with you, I invite you guys to join us. Give us a like, share the video with friends, and you may subscribe if you haven't already. And for those that have always been with us, you are welcome back, and I thank you for your love and support. Today's video, I'm going to address the guys who are exiting narcissistic abusive relationship. So a lot of you guys, you're most likely seeing your ex-partner, ex-narcissist, with somebody new. You know what I mean? So for those of you who are just new to this channel, maybe you just found out the channels about narcissistic abuse. You are seeing somebody who has been previously abusive to you. All of a sudden, they are moved on to somebody new. Now, that new person is called the new supply. So the new supply usually comes in when the narcissist discards you or you discard them. Normally, they go around very fast and they hunt around and get somebody very, very quickly to put you in that position, to put them in your position, and those individuals, they become the potential sources of supply. In this video, we talk about the new supply. Now, a lot of guys, individuals around the world, the very first thing what is going to come to their mind is they're not worthy. You know, a lot of them will be dealing with self-esteem. They will be dealing with heart. You know, because as you're hurting, you're also having problems with accepting yourself, self-esteem. You're finding it very difficult to fit in society. So it's all of a sudden, the whole world feels like it has shut down and there's nothing else to do. And there's nowhere forward, nowhere to move on. Now, it has also happened in my journey that I at one point thought that I've been in your shoes before, so I thought that at one point I was going crazy, you know what I mean? Because I couldn't believe that all these years, we had spent so many periods of years, and all of a sudden, we had a couple of misunderstandings, and eventually the partnership ended, and those guys moved on to somebody new. Now, I want you guys to take it easy. I want you to understand something, that the narcissist is living on a repeated cycle. You know what I mean? So even before those individuals came and met you and got entangled with you, there was somebody already before you. So you might have noticed even in the beginning of you guys, your relationship or entanglement or whichever you want to call it, you might have noticed that they've been talking about somebody, an ex who wasn't fit for them or wasn't enough for them or things like that. So they might have also already dumped somebody before they came in and met you. And again, you're also going to fit up the puzzles and notice that those particular individuals, they dropped off before they met you. It was a very short period of time. They could have just dumped those individuals like a week ago or 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago, or even some of them you can find them a couple of days ago. They have already dumped somebody before they met you. And all of a sudden, there was a smear campaign going on. They were telling you a lot of things about those individuals. They were not good in bed. They didn't have a lot of money. They were driving an ugly car. They didn't have this and that. So they will usually have a smear campaign when it comes to the old supply. So they have told you a lot of things about the ex, and you may have sometimes believed the fact that those individuals actually, they were right. You fell for the trap. You went in there. The love bomb happened. The love bombed you, and eventually the trauma bond kicked in, and eventually before you knew it, you got entangled in a very long-term relationship with a narcissist. So a lot of guys who are living narcissists, what they do normally, they have a tendency of trying to become very insecure. You know, sometimes they are going around there, they are sneaking up on them, they are showing up at their doors, they are going around to beg, or, you know, please, you know, take me back or something like this. I can do better. Some of you guys are going around and promising the narcissist, oh, you should take me back because I'm going to do better than I used to do before. Each and everything, all those kind of stuff. Now it has happened to me as well, and I do not blame you. I know where you're coming from. But at the same time, there are also some individuals who believe that yes, they have been dealing with narcissists, and some of those individuals, they make sometimes attempts to reach out to the new supply and to let them know, because I've even sometimes seen it on my channel, where some individuals were threatening to go ahead and get in touch with the new supply and tell them exactly, hey, you know what, you guys, those particular individuals you're dealing with, they were my ex, and those guys, they're narcissists and everything like that. Now, I can guarantee you that this is very dangerous. It's extremely dangerous, guys. You have got to know that the new supply is also in the same boat that he was before. So those individuals as well, they do not know anything. They are as green as you can imagine. They do not know anything what is going on. They have also been trauma bonded the same way that you did, the same way that you were trauma bonded. So they are in the same boat like you. You was before you left the narcissist. And it is not in your power for you to go around there and start warning them about the narcissist. You don't have to say anything. Guys, let me tell you something. It does not matter what you see on social media. You may sometimes get a little bit of jealous. Yes, it is also obvious that you are usually going to get jealous. You will sneak up on them. You will be spying on them on social media. You'll be checking them, what is going on. What are they doing? Sometimes you will see them posting a lot of pictures about the new supply. They have bought a new ride. They have a very nice, a very beautiful dress. Maybe sometimes the new supply, they're looking better than you. You don't have to worry in whichever way about those new individuals. You have got to know that you have got out of the narcissistic relationship. It is your way. It is your one-way ticket. There is no way back to a narcissist. If you have awakened and you've understood that you have been dealing with a narcissist, there is no way back into the narcissistic life. You have got to go out. You stay out. Because when you attempt to come back to those individuals, believe me or not, guys, even sometimes the torture and the pain is going to be worse than it was before. So you have got to just pray for those individuals. You have got to know that those individuals, they do not know anything. They are very green. They are in that same boat you was before. They are going to experience the same amount of torture. Even sometimes it could be worse than you used to have. So they're going to experience the same experience that you went through. They're going to see that for themselves. So in this video, I'm just trying to let you guys know that for those of you guys who are a little bit worried about those new supplies and the new sources of supply, you have got to know that you have got to focus on yourself. You have got to go out there, keep on healing and keep on moving forward, guys. You know what I mean? It's going to be very hard. I've told you guys in my videos that it is very, very difficult to move on after narcissistic abuse. There's a lot of work to be done. There's a lot of healing to be done. There's a lot of reconciliation. There's a lot of forgiveness. So a lot of things are happening, and your head is almost looking like it's like busting up because there's all these emotions flowing in and out of your head, and you don't even know how to move forward with yourself. So you have got to understand that it is acceptable that the narcissist will not do things exactly how you expect them to be. The narcissists have got their own programming. They've got their own software. They've got their own way of doing things. So if you have seen it, especially for you guys who have awakened and you have really understood that this whole thing is spiritual, you have already connected the dots, and you can add up all the spiritual patterns involved with the narcissist. You have got to know that actually that ticket that has sent you out of the narcissistic relationship, that is a one-way ticket. There's no way you're going to go back to a narcissist, because believe me or not, guys, it's going to turn out very, very bad with you. And again, when it comes to the new supply, if you're going around there and sneaking up on them and trying to warn them, sometimes you guys may know where to find these individuals. There may be sometimes people you've been working with, because we already know that sometimes narcissists, they can move on with your best friends. You can see them dating your brothers. They dump you somewhere and then they go and date your brothers. They dump you somewhere. They can even date your father. Those individuals, they can even date your own mother. So when it comes to the narcissists, they don't have a limit when it comes to the people they are getting. As long as they have got some significant amount of fuel, they will just jump in there and start siphoning the fuel from those individuals. So they can just go with anybody. It doesn't matter it doesn't matter, guys, when you know those individuals, where they are, you have access to them, you know where to find them. You have got to know people. You're supposed to let them experience what you went through. First of all, you're going to go there and warn them that yes, they are dealing with a narcissist, but at the end of the day, it is going to turn out very bad, because now they are going to think you are the one in the way. So it is going to sometimes cause a situation whereby they are going to believe that you may sometimes be jealous about them and their new relationship or things like that. Most of the cases I've thought that it has happened whereby the new supply at some point in my own life, the new supply was thinking maybe I was jealous or something like that, because in the beginning I was not awakened. So I was also thinking the same way that you do. So the new supply probably was thinking that maybe I could have been jealous. That's why sometimes I was going around and looking around and seeking around and things like that and sneaking up on them. So it has happened along my journey as well until I awakened from it. So the new supply, they are naive, they are asleep. They are also very deep in the trauma bond. They do not know what they are dealing with. So when you are going out there and warning them, you're sitting there with them, you're telling them all these things about the narcissist, you're going to become the problem. Now they are going to gang up, because remember, this is a fresh entanglement going on. The narcissist has just initiated a fresh entanglement with somebody new, and now you are going there and telling them all these kind of things. It is going to turn out very badly with you, because those individuals, I will guarantee as well, they are going to gang up together, and you're going to become the problem. They are also going to gang up against you. And in worst case scenarios, sometimes these things can even sometimes end up in physical violence. You know what I mean? So you may find sometimes cases whereby the new supply may try to cause you harm. They may try to just fight with you because they are thinking that you are the one in their way. Because remember, for them, They're believing that they've picked up some kind of a jewel. You know what I mean? They've picked up a diamond somewhere. But it's also going to turn out later on that they're going to actually find out that actually that particular thing they thought that was a jewel or was a diamond, it is just actually a mere stone, and there's nothing there to there's nothing worth of fighting for. You know what I mean? So empaths around the world who are healing, empaths who are going out of narcissistic relationships, you have got to know, let it go. It is very difficult, guys. It is very hard for me to say this. It is the only way. I don't have another words to tell you. You have got to let it go. You get out of there, guys, pack your bags, not only physically, but also pack your emotions with you and take your emotions with you and get your emotions out of those individuals' lives. Continue to live your best life and just look back. Get yourself a sofa, get yourself a cup of tea, sit down in the sofa and watch the movie play out in front of you. Because let me tell you something, guys. You will sit down somewhere and you will be watching those individuals, the way they will be struggling, and that's where you're going to understand that, you were actually the lucky one to get out. You are the one that got away. You know what I mean? You are going to actually sometime tap yourself on the shoulder and understand you are the one that got away and you are the one that survived the abuse. And now there is somebody new who has taken your place, and those individuals they are going to experience the amount of torture they have never seen before. Because remember that the narcissists, when they notice that you have gone away and you never ever going to come back, now what they do, they multiply the torture to the new supply. The torture is going to become even very intensive than it was with you. So you don't have nothing to worry about, guys. You have got to know that this whole thing is an illusion. The narcissistic relationship and encounter and entanglement, all these kind of things, those are all illusions. So the narcissist was never there in the first place. Because if a person was there in the first place and they really loved you and cared about you, they would never really treat you the same way they did when you were with them. So you will never experience that amount of humiliation and torture and devaluation from a person who is claiming to love you. Those individuals that have never loved you, I will guarantee you that they also don't love themselves. They do not love anything about them. Those individuals, they hate everything that comes in their way. Even they can hate their neighbors that they've never seen for a very long period of time. They will just hate their neighbors. Even sometimes they can hate somebody who is passing along by the roadside. So you have to know these individuals, they're evil. They're full of hate. There's a pattern that they cannot break out of it. It's a pattern that has got to carry on. I don't know for how long, until maybe sometimes something happens, some kind of a divine intervention happens in their lives that they can be able to get out of that, which I don't have any proof of that incident happening. If it happens like that, then they can get out of it. But that pattern has got to go on because these are simply narcissists. They're mere narcissists and there's nothing you can do about it. The new supply, let them be. As for you who is getting out of those relationships, go on and heal. Work on yourself. Seek help. We are there, guys. We are there. We guys are there who have been there. There's coaches online. There's all kind of help you can need. You can get out there and seek the right help you can need, so that those individuals will help you to maneuver the healing process, so that they can help you heal and get out of that entanglement successfully, even not only physically but also emotionally. So you let it go. You go out there and you let the new supply experience their own experience. Let them have their own experience and let them know the real reason why you and the narcissist are not together anymore. They will find out eventually, because as time goes on, they're also going to realize that as time goes on, they're also going to realize that they're actually probably going through the same thing that you went through at some point. But they've got to come to that realization by themselves. It is not your job to go out there and warn them. It is not your job, awakening empaths, to go out there and alert them. Do not alert them. Let them be. Let them see what you saw. Their time is going to come. They will know exactly what they need to do, and they will probably do the same thing that you did. If you're the one who discarded the narcissist, they will do the same thing that you did at the end of that entanglement. But it's not part of your job. So you have got nothing to do with this. It is very painful, guys, to tell you this, but as a person who has awakened from narcissistic abuse, I know all the single details. So that's the reason why I'm encouraging you chosen ones and awakening empaths. Concentrate on yourself and focus on yourself. Healing is the only thing you'll ever do that will help you guys to become a better version of yourself. You have got out there, you've just won the jackpot, and you're going to become a better version of yourself. That being said, guys, I hope this video resonates. Let me know if a person who has left the narcissist, probably have been trying to go out there and warn the new supplies, tell them about what's going on. Let me know if I'm talking to you guys, and until then, it's been lovely to have you guys on board. I hope to get back in touch with you. Book a session with me, guys. Let's talk about narcissistic abuse. Let's talk about personal development, and let's talk about spirituality. If a person wants to donate to this channel, all the links are in the description below. And until then, I'll hear from you soon. Much love and blessings. Desmond signing out, and peace.